Jewish culture has been scrutinized for centuries, but despite everything that they have gone through, Jews from all over the world have always proven themselves by working hard. The strength that Jewish people have has resulted in many great discoveries and inventions. How's it going, FTD Facts family? My name is Leroy Kenton and you're watching FTD Facts. In this episode, I'm going to be sharing some surprising Jewish inventions and discoveries that changed the world. Starting with number 10, the laser. On May 16, 1960, Jewish-American physicist Theodore Maiman, he fired the first laser. However, his work was based on theoretical foundations first established by Albert Einstein, who was also Jewish, in 1917. Today, the laser is used widely in our everyday devices like barcode scanners and even DVDs. Also, specialized tools are used to mark targets and measure speed, all because of the laser. The name laser is actually an acronym, and I did not know this. I just found out when doing research for this video. It's an acronym for light amplification by stimulated emission of radiation. Now you guys know as well. Moving on to number 9, we have the pacemaker and defibrillators. Jewish American cardiologist Paul Zoll, he helped in the invention of pacemakers and defibrillators. These inventions are life-saving and they're huge accomplishments in the world of science. So a pacemaker, when it's inserted in the human body, it helps regulate the heartbeat, while the defibrillator restarts the heart in the case of an irregular heartbeat and other heart problems. For anyone suffering from heart condition, these inventions are medical miracles that were so desperately needed. Coming in at the number 8 spot is genetic engineering. In 1972, Jewish-American scientist Paul Berg created the first recombinant DNA molecules, which are responsible for modern genetic engineering. Now, this invention has faced a lot of controversy because of the harmful effects that the food items can have, which are produced through genetic engineering. But on the other hand, genetic engineering has shown that it might be an effective way to treat cancer. But also, this procedure has been used for mass production of insulin and also to help crops become disease resistant. From there, we look at stainless steel at number 7. Hans Goldschmidt, who was a German Jewish chemist, he invented the process for producing carbon-free chromium in the year 1893 and patented the thermite reaction in the year 1895. Now, this discovery was very important for the development of stainless steel, which is an alloy with a high chromium content and low carbon content. Scientists were able to begin producing stainless steel in the early 1900s thanks to Goldschmidt's invention. This steel is not like ordinary steel, and it's very strong enough to fight corrosion. And of course, kitchen appliances made of stainless steel, they're very common and present in almost every household now. Number 6 takes us to a very famous equation, E equals mc squared. Mass energy equivalence is the mass of an object and its energy concept. So this same formula was the one used in the creation of the atomic bomb. However, long before the atomic bomb was conceived, Jewish physicist Albert Einstein was the first to propose that mass energy equivalence is a fundamental principle in the symmetries of space and time. Next up, at number 5, cholera and bubonic vaccination. By the late 1800s, no vaccine for the lethal diseases cholera and bubonic plague existed. Though Jews were historically blamed for the 1300s Black Death outbreaks, well, Jewish bacteriologist Waldemar Hafkini, he decided that he would not let that stop him from developing a cure for cholera and the bubonic plague. So what did he do? He got to work on developing vaccines for these diseases. He tested these vaccines on himself by putting himself in danger. So this guy was very brave as well. In the year 1893, he even relocated to India for 30 years to be closer to the source of the outbreaks. Bubonic plague, also known as Black Death, caused the most deadly disease outbreak in history. In the 19th century, when huge global trade was really booming, cholera was given the ability to spread to almost every single part of the earth. So luckily, we had these vaccines now. Moving on now to number 4, polio vaccine. So the Austrian Jewish biologist Karl Landensteiner, he began working on identifying the biological pathogen that caused polio and was successful in the year 1908. In the 1940s and the 1950s, Jonas Salk, who is a Jewish medical researcher, he spent 7 years developing a vaccine for polio. Now, polio, which is short for poliomyelitis, is an infectious disease that can cause paralysis. Trying to say poliomyelitis 3 times fast. I could see why they just say polio. But either way, this disease, it first appeared in Europe and then it made its way to the United States. Then in the 19th century, polio became the most dreaded disease, especially for children, infecting hundreds of thousands of people. Now, the vaccine was finally discovered in the year 1955 after involving over 1 million school children. And it has since reduced the number of polio victims to just under 1,000 per year. Salk, he refused to patent the vaccine because he didn't want to profit from saving people's lives. Number 3 brings us nuclear weapons. Robert Oppenheimer, who is a Jewish American theoretical physicist, is known as the father of the atomic bomb for his work on the Manhattan Project, which developed the first nuclear weapons. After World War II, Oppenheimer went to work opposing the spread of nuclear weapons, eventually becoming the chief advisor to the UN group that was tasked with regulating nuclear technology. Now, in the year 1945, America had dropped the first nuclear bombs over Hiroshima and Nagasaki in Japan. As a result, the United Nations, they swiftly moved to develop regulations for the new dangerous technology, hoping that these 2 events would be the first and the last time that nuclear weapons were used in a war. However, as a result of the Cold War, both the Soviet Union and the United States, they engaged in what is known as the nuclear arms race, which has had massive impacts on the world, and it led to now several other countries being suspected of being in possession of nuclear weapons, and some countries have actually been confirmed to have nuclear weapons. From there, let's look at capitalism. Not the invention of capitalism, but the revolutionization of capitalism. Jewish political economist David Ricardo made major contributions to capitalism. In the 5th century, with the end of feudalism, different forms of capitalism began to become the economic systems of the Western world. Now, this system runs on profits made in a market economy and is still used today all over the world. Now, David Ricardo, he was an 18th century English economist that was renowned for his contributions to economic theory. He developed the comparative advantage theory as well as the labor theory of value and also the theory of rents, which founded other schools of thought and now forms the basis of current economics globally. Now, in at number 1, let's talk about Google. Don't be evil is the company's motto, which is shared by both Larry Page and Sergey Brin, who are 2 Jewish co-workers who founded Google while they were both students at Stanford University. Google was founded in the year 1998. Now, at first, no one was able to understand or even predict the impact that this search engine was going to have on the internet and on the world at large. Now, due to the wide range of products it produces, including Gmail, Drive, Google Home, things like that, Google is no longer just recognized as a search engine. It's a very powerful company. And Google also oversees the creation of the Android operating system, which powers all Android mobile devices. And they own YouTube, which is the website that you're probably watching this video on right now. Definitely changed the world. Alright guys, so that brings us to the end of this episode. Really hope you enjoyed it. I'm sure this video made it clear that no matter what people think of Jewish people, they definitely have proven themselves and shown that they are capable of impacting the world. Definitely let me know your thoughts and comments down below. If you enjoyed this one, don't forget to leave a like, and also if this is your first time here to the channel, go ahead and subscribe as well as ring the bell. That way you'll be notified when we post our new daily episodes. Until next time guys, stay awesome, stay educated, and I'll see you soon.